Hello, everybody, and welcome to the I'm Solo Now. Last time, hell. Let's see what happens this time. First pick overall, Abaddon. It's not going to surprise me at all to see this particular pick happening very consistently in this season. If you've got first pick, Abaddon's in the pool. If you pick it, it's like your chances of winning legitimately just go up by 10% instantly. By the way, I'm alone now. If I didn't already say that, I think I already said that, but just to reiterate, Ice is gone. He had to leave because you sons of bitches would not let game 1 go. Willow, Furion, Kunkka, lots of bans for old Albert in particular. Looks like coming out here. You can see the Furion for Kyrix as well. Willow for Midget, spreading them out to a degree on the Tallballz team. BigAl knocks out the Veno, which is interesting because it felt like Veno not having the ability to do much was actually a big part of why that game went so long, I feel like. But banning out largely, yeah, 4 of the 5 from the last game are now banned. The only one they're willing to let fly again is Rubik, and that's just because he's not here. Ben and Lich, both good first picks. I mean, again, if you have first pick, just pick Abaddon. Lich as a first pick isn't bad. I mean, the Lich ult is a very specific thing, but the Lich ult also doesn't need really any setup, and it's not that big of a deal if it like flops. Just the mere threat of the Lich ult existing, forcing you to change the way you play the game, which is inevitable. It's pretty good, even if if it's answered, if it's knocked out, then that's fine. You're not really losing that much. You don't have to build around it, I guess is the way I'm going. So, that's a fine first pick. Spearbreaker coming up next. And not surprising, another hero you can kind of expect to see. A hero that I'm just increasingly beginning to believe is just balance cancer and maybe needs a full, utter rework at some point in the future. I've been playing Dota since 2013. Over 10 years now, and I don't think a single patch in my life has it ever been the case that Spearbreaker has been just balanced. He's either been one of the top heroes in the entire game or one of the weakest heroes in the entire game. He has never been in the middle, and they have never really sought to address that at all, it doesn't feel like. They're going to run the Rubik back again, hoping Wacko Dubs is an appropriate follow-up to Dark Ace's act in the last game.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
So far, I definitely, Abaddon is top win rate in the game. But I don't like him into Spearbreaker. I don't think he does anything to that guy. And so far, BigAl team looks like they can cause a lot of chaos in fights, and not much can answer it except, one ult out of the Treon Protector.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
It's a bit of an awkward draft so far for the Wagyu Beast. It doesn't feel like any of these guys really go together. I could definitely be helped out by picks later in the pool. Gonna be picking up the Spectre here. Pretty big guy to throw out this early. Dawnbreaker coming up next. Dawnbreaker and Spearbreaker is just a classic combination. With the Spectre on top of that, you got a lot of global presence. You're going to be forcing the Wagyu Beast, whether they like it or not, to huddle around as 5 in this game. Though I do feel like perhaps they might be showing a little much a little soon by picking all of this so early. It may have been advantageous perhaps to, say, put the Spectre on the last pick. That way you wouldn't really know the stakes quite yet, or as bad as they look on Wagyu beasts. It's not like picking Spectre into Spirit Breaker, Dawnbreaker is a particularly appetizing idea, so... Wagyu, I feel like this is the waste all of your reserve time pick in this new pick format. Feels like everybody spends at least 15 to 20 on this particular pick. Gonna run with a Weaver here. This is an interesting way to go about it. I don't think it's a bad way to deal with this. Of course, this Wagyu Beast lineup is not gonna be able to let what happened last game happen again. They gotta actually finish this one. Because these guys, they don't scale. Weaver is going to be much worse than Spectre for a very large part of this game, and it's not going to be pretty if the Wagyu Beasts let it get to that point. Now, the good news is Spectre does nothing to this guy for a very long time. There's going to be a very long time where this guy is going to be very hard to actually get, and is going to be very easy to just kill people with. I mean, even Spirit Breaker is going to have at least a little trouble. Especially if he has some coordination issues, and we definitely saw some coordination issues coming out of the BigAl lineup in the last game. You know, a lot of those chrono on top of the Winter Wyvern ult type situations.
10 seconds remaining.
Tallballz says, no sniper, please. I don't blame him. I wouldn't let that get picked again either. I mean, I don't blame the Tallballz team in this. Like, if that was what happened to me in my last game, I'd be like, let's just pick a lineup where we're just going to win in 20 minutes here, too. I will say, while the Abaddon doesn't do anything to any of these guys, particularly, they're not really going to be able to kill them, like, ever, with this lineup so far. Okay, not never, at, like, 40 minutes and on, he's just going to be food. But up until that point, these guys are going to struggle a lot to actually, like, kill him.
5 seconds remaining.
He's gonna live so long and get so far unless you drop the whole world on top of his head. At which point there are many, many, many nasty things that are now completely unaccounted for. If you drop the Spirit Breaker and the Dawnbreaker and the Spectre Global stuff all on Abaddon, then now you have 3 guys sitting in the middle of no man's land. You're still going to take a minute or so to actually get him down, and that is well enough time for Snapfire. What the hell? That's not who I expected to see. This is a fairly mediocre Snapfire game. Really, the best time you have for Snapfire ults is either the Treon Protector ult or from Rubik stealing Spirit Breaker stuff. So the ult is not really going to be probably that big of a factor here unless the coordination on this lineup makes it really great. But the good news is, if nothing else, as far as a right-click Snapfire game goes, if you still want to do that, it's fine. It's not really bad getting that big AoE. I mean, Weaver's going to have the bugs, right? So when you get that, assuming it's still in the game, I guess it could have hypothetically been taken out. I will admit I haven't been keeping up much with this hero ever since her win rate dumpstered. But, you know, assuming that's still in the game, you get that split auto attack modifier. You get Storm Spirit. Interesting. Not a bad pick here. Goes fairly well with the lineup as it stands. And either we're going to have a pause 3 Weaver, or they're switching out Arc and Blue Jay in this particular game, which is interesting. There's really an issue with the Storm Spirit pick. It's like, well, now you've got Abaddon, somebody that he can easily do the funny Manta thing to and have some impact with. I mean, the big issue with Abaddon and the funny Blink Manta build is you've got to do it in a game where just the ability to keep a guy shut up forever is actually relevant, and you can't just immediately undo it one way or the other. And Storm Spirit is going to have some problems with that. Like, If Storm Spirit gets picked up by Rubik or cookied, and Abaddon is around, Abaddon can just make him die. The second he gets the Curse of Avernus actually on him, he's dead. He's done. He's gone. He is no more. Awkwardly long wait there. So I'm not exactly sure how these guys are going to lane it out. I don't think either of these Abaddon lanes are particularly good or particularly bad. I don't really like him in any of these cases, but I don't hate him in any of these cases either. And in the patch that looks like this, not hating him is good enough. There's going to be snap mid. Everybody's gonna tip Giraffe. That's what you get. I assume he said something in the lobby. But Spectre's just glad to be here. Getting tipped some more. What did 12-7 say? That was so funny.
30 seconds to battle.
Weaver's building that classic magic wand. Actually, he's building two different generations of magic wand. Because he has the 3 branches version, and he has the circlet version. So, that's quite a complicated build there. Now all he needs is like a mango and a raindrop. No, the raindrops were earned. Never mind, he just needs a mango. Equal split on the runes. Nobody's too eager to get anything weird done. Yeah, they are switching it out here. Ark is playing pause 1 this game. That's interesting. Wonder if this is going to be a common thing for them, or this is just a special occasion due to dropping the Dark Ace here. Or just due to picking the Abaddon. Who knows? Not me. See how this goes. I will say I like the Abaddon a little bit more into this lane. While Abaddon himself is not going to be able to get himself out of anything sticky, really. He's going to be able to get rid of the Sinister Gaze on the Rubik here. So the Abaddon is going to make it really hard for Lich to actually get anything that good done in trades and actually finish any jobs that aren't being done to him. Problem is, Spectre, even being, you know, tanky in lane, at least comparatively compared to what she used to be, it's not like Spectre is going to be doing scary damage in lane, right? So, the only person you're really going to get into that threshold for the most part is the Rubik, who Abaddon can just kind of casually save, just keep alive. It's an annoying pressure thing to have to deal with. Running with a pause 3 Spear Breaker here. Interesting. I thought this guy was going to be support for sure. Not today. Because it would make sense. Wouldn't really have much of a team otherwise. I'd have to be doing some very interesting thing. Well, I mean, I guess I just assumed it was going to be the opposite. I assumed it was going to be Dawnbreaker being played by BigAl on 3. Midget on the Spirit Breaker.
Radiant's courier has been
No. Dawn's Courier. No. Half of Spectre's HP bar. No. Midget dies somehow.
Radiant's
And he just loses track of where the Treant is there, I think. Not the Treant, the Weaver is there, I think. Interesting decision to charge the wave there instead of charge at mid, but Spirit Breaker's gonna be fine anyway. Earthblood to Weaver, though, that's what you need. I mean, again, this is very much the early game lineup. So you want to extend the advantage you do have. Pretend I didn't just see that. You want to extend the advantage you do have in this early game as much as humanly possible. Which, the advantage they already have is pretty solid. I mean, this Spectre is not going to do anything for quite a long time. Snapfire losing that courier must be super annoying. So far, mid is quite an equitable situation. Sheriff is going to steal this bounty rune. Oh man, Weaver is going deep for this. This is pretty nuts. Oh man. It's actually kind of working. I'm genuinely a little surprised it didn't Sakuchi under the tower there for the kill. I feel like if Spearbreaker tries to intervene, if he gets hit by the Sakuchi as well, he's not going to like what happens. This guy needs to get at least one level this in lane, though. For sure. You know, if you want to play aggressive like this, you have to have this as like the backup. Well, you don't have to, but I think you would really much prefer it. Didn't even get the bugs on him. I think if you're Weaver there, I think you're pretty comfortable just running over this pause. Oh, good God. That was like... Damn, that's not nice, princess. Also true. Good God. That was at least 20 minutes. Man, if I was on the Tallballz team, and that happened to me in game 1, and then I had to wait 20 minutes for a pause in game 2, I would actually cry. Tears would come out of my eyes. Honestly, ditto these guys who held off for 700 minutes and accomplished nothing. Must be a real real happy, fun series we got going on here. What's us going deep on? Okay. I thought this was gonna maybe be a kill. Let's see what's going on here. BigAl does not respect the Treon punch. That's so much damage. That is so much fizz damage. I think maybe a mistake there. Yeah, maybe a mistake to not get the Sakuchi damage to start by throwing the bugs instead, unfortunately. I think if he gets the Sakuchi off and throws bugs from the other side, this guy is dead. Though he is going to die anyway. Takes the reset. Because he knows he's going to be food for the Weaver once Weaver comes back up. So not a bad idea, but it is very tragic to give a lot of that money you just got right back. Maybe the play there would have been to just get yourself denied on the camp instead. Who knows? Here's what I know. BigAl has lost half his HP bar in a grand total of like no time. Excuse me, in a grand total of like no time at all being back in this lane. Not the most ideal situation. Ah, the bash.
Fine looking bunch we are.
Okay, what? Let's check this out.
Fine looking bunch we are.
Yep. Ban with the twin Wraith bands. Gives him enough attack speed to just prosecute that to the end. And is having to touch up his stocks here. That's mean. For those of you without the benefit of eyes, that was Snapfire cooking an illusion to stun the Storm Spirit for no gain, just to be a dick. Midget is waiting here at the Wisdom Rune spot for like 15 seconds, trying to get both the stack and the Wisdom Rune off. Which is successful. On one hand, it's not the worst strategy in the world. These guys are the late game team. They're not gonna... You know, it would have been awesome if they lived in the reality where they were stomping the yard early in the game, and, okay, that was a good aggressive play by the Spirit Breaker that actually just made everybody completely turn around, but... Would have been awesome if they were stomping the yard at this point and had an advantage to, extend, but... They do not! Oh, God.
Out.
Our apologies.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Out.
Well, Spectre got a kill on Rubik and top because he DC'd, which is good. Actually turned the kill and death situation around. Okay. Okay, holy crap. Action in 3 lanes. Well, action in 2 lanes. Princess TP's to bot in the midst of a dive from the safe lane and just gets a double. Very casually. That's not good. That is not what you want to have happen to you as an early game team. Shira shows up for this is where this all started with a Mortimer's Kisses at the bot lane.
Dire's middle tower is
Which we
under
missed because we were looking at this go on top. Shaban just survived by the bare skin of his teeth. Spectre almost was in the situation where she hated sequels, but not quite. Everybody on this team thanking God that this wave was not a little differently
Radiant's
positioned.
middle tower is under attack.
Ben really just wants to go right in on this. Oh no. Man, that Spirit Breaker showed up in such an awkward spot. You gotta be kidding me! Oh my god, Rubik.
Radiant's middle tower.
Oh no, this wacko guy. At least he DC by the time the fight ended.
Dire's bottom tower is
We're
under
kind of having trouble actually, like, killing Snapfire, and that's not good when she has an artillery barrage to turn right around with.
Ready when I met him, but I made extra sure.
Ooh, that was really scary if you're a Baden, but very, very good artillery comes out of the Snapfire, turning that nightmare situation into a triple kill situation. Shoutouts to that one game that happened where they paused because Boss DC'd, and when they came back, everybody had no money. Boss had stolen everybody's mullet. He still never paid his dues for that. He never returned the money. What do the net worth charts say at this point? Yeah, it's a bit different looking from the last hits and denies, don't you think? Radiant for the most part are in the driver's seat. Once again, it feels like most of the hopes in this particular game are pinned on Princess. Ben's got that 5-year plan going on. Just straight up starting with the Manta here. Spectre, still trying to thwack this guy in the back of the head. It has not really worked before. Still not really working now. BigAl getting pretty low here. Not the Sakuchi though, he's not in any real danger of falling out. Slightly awkward use of Sakuchi in lane, I must say. I think it's generally been, like, in a strategic and tactical level, it's been prosecuted well, but some of the Sakuchis are a little awkward. Like, feels like he could get some better use of the skill on the Weaver. like that particular skill, I mean. Get some better uses of his W, and we'll be in a much nicer position in his life. BigAl coming back into lane the hard way, as everybody in the world is collapsing right on top of Weaver's head. Literally 5 people are now in this lane on the Dire here.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Princess is not interested in staying, though, just TP's right back, and so does Spectre alone. Which could be actually kind of bad. Lich is going to follow the Twin Gate, though, so not enough time to really get anything too nasty done. Yeah, at the end of the day, on one hand it was 5 guys being pulled out of lane to just collapse on that, but on the other hand, nobody really got anything done besides that, and that's a pretty big kill. So at this point in the game, I think if you're Dire, you're well happy with that. That's funny.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Oh, okay. Blue Jay was just like really holding his hand there. Waited quite a while to put on the aphotic shield. To the point where I almost kind of wonder if he would have been better off. Like, if Rubik survives, at least survives longer if it gets out earlier. At this point, it's going to be looking like it's... Yeah, he's not even going to survive.
bottom tower has fallen.
A little bit of hesitation going on there. Sorry, says Effie. And I must say, as well as this game started for the Radiant, this is kind of making me question it a little bit. The first post-lane phase teamfights are going to have to be awesome to make up for this, or else this very early game-oriented lineup is not going to pan out. Shiraf has a Rod of Atos. I mean, I guess that's how you get people to stop for Cookie. And this is how you get stopped if you're somebody who likes to throw cookies. Takes so long to get rid of the Snapfire. Slightly unfortunate situation with the bad in there. All the curse stacks now gone. And a good amount of mana comes out on the Storm Spear. Tallballz is going pretty crazy back here looking for this. Finds nothing. Dire just right-clicks away and is totally fine. That is not a good look for the Radiant right now. Especially with the ult being used on the Treant Protector. Like, they go that deep, they get 1 kill, and they don't even die. Batten got the, got those last hits from his shield popping, that's nice. Princess got that non-double damage. And then got Atos, literally just for fun. Okay. Good God.
Death has many doors. I open one for you.
Death has many doors for Weaver, who is now 1-4. It is not in completely unsalvageable situation, but it is starting to look somewhat dire for the Radiant. Irony aside.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Good news is, Wisdom Rune here.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Radiant bot T1, honoring the unbreakable tradition. Abaddon honoring the tradition of getting everyone going on him again. But this time the situations are a little bit different. He's quite close to reinforcements this time. So this time, all they really accomplished doing that is making him pop his ult, and that's back in 60. He's got his Echo Saber up now. Which is not really going to be the power spike that it looks like. I mean, look at his attack speed right now, right? Like, you get the 2 freebie attacks off, and then it's still like what will be, you know, another attack or 2 later on to actually get this done. Slightly awkward communication on this Snapfire and Treant combination there. It does work itself out in the end. I think a little better communication on that. That's probably a triple. But double ain't bad. As Snapfire drops the artillery on Spirit Breaker, Lich in the Treant ult.
Radiant's bottom
Whoops.
tower is under attack.
Fight brewing at top. Spirit Breaker once again coming in the hard way. Nearly to his Shadow Blade at this point. Looking at Rubik with hunger in his eyes. Looking at Rubik with no hunger in his eyes. He's done. Batten takes out an Observer there. Not really sure. Oh, he's just barely in the radius of this one. This sentry up here, okay. Batten with his little picture camera. Pulling some mana off the courier here. Does feel like this particular build with a Batten, it would be very nice to find some sort of slot here for a more elegant solution to the mana problem. I feel like Blue Jay has at this point spent like a real item's worth of money on clarities. I could have gone somewhere else to, you know, give him the mana restoration and actually give him some benefit. Top T1 Dire, very low at this point. Weaver and Spirit Breaker are going to have a meeting of the minds here at bot. I think Spirit Breaker might be overestimating his position slightly, at least in a 1v1 capacity, still not winning against the Weaver. She now understands as he slinks off. Of course, that could have been a big kill if they dropped everything on his head, but if they dropped everything on his head, and he wasn't dusted, which I don't think he was, then nothing gets done. Awkward situation with this strategy against this hero. And just farming up every creep in the world here in the triangle. Lots of big stacks going on. Spear Breaker! Oh, you hate to see that. Spear Breaker gets awkwardly stopped, almost actually dies from the artillery alone. Which, I don't think G-Raz very happy he didn't actually get that kill, but you know how it goes. I was about to say, we'll be more than happy to get this one in kind. Get silenced. Oh my god, that was very smooth on the part of the Treant and the Snapfire there. Comboed their consecutive stuns very well and actually just randomly got the Princess, who to this point has been doing very good for himself. Spear Breaker is trying to just finagle himself out of this bad situation. He's not really finding any success. Lich ult and the Dawnbreaker ult are going to combine to take out the Radiant support line. Giraffe running for his life. Ben showing up for the assist. Trying to help save him, but he just cannot get it done. They're just going to overpower everything Abaddon's giving him at this point. Just run him over. Slightly unfortunate. Once again, another one of these fights that is not a win for the Radiant. If nothing else, Weaver is rising up the tree. He is at least now passed up the former off-lane for net worth in its entirety, because Dawnbreaker has now got more money than the Spirit Breaker does, but still has a ways to go, and it still feels pretty awkward just having this small of a campaign fun when this game is totally over if it goes long. Kyrix is now a Batten food. Not a very nice situation to be in. It was effectively confirmation that without the ults involved, if Abaddon finds support alone, that support is dead. Oh, you see that? The hallmark is somebody who at least kind of knows what he's doing on Abaddon there. Waited until the glyph was almost over to actually pop the Curse of Avernus. Not like that time saved actually meant anything there, because the tower died in like 2 more shots anyway, but you know how it goes. Princess and BigAl hanging out in Radiant's jungle. Well, BigAl hanging out in Radiant's jungle. Princess walking away from Radiant's jungle. Spirit Breaker taking a look at Rubik here in the jungle. He's going to pass by a lot of people. But with that invis, kind of hard to find him. Abaddon once again trying to help. But the rest of the team, unfortunately, too far to offer much more than their deepest sympathies. Feels like this skill just so desperately needs to come out. It feels like at this point, even with the nerf, it feels like this skill is like, not having it is so many lives saved. Or having it, rather, is so many lives saved at this point. Finally does come out at the last possible opportunity. I mean, I guess he could have leveled stats, but like, don't. Snapfire also going to get Manta style. Is going for the maximum illusions build. You'll notice Spearbreaker was charging the Snapfire down at bot until he remembered what happened last time he did this. Abaddon Mantis style, now nearly completed. Going for Harpoon afterwards. And then he's going for Blame. You can see everything. He's kind of an open book right now. Once again, just going to just completely wipe out poor Kyrix. Well, that's an unfortunate situation for BigAl. Just gets Harpoon there at such an awkward time. That Dawnbreaker ult right there was actually from Rubik. And I kind of missed this in the confusion of the fight, to the point I'm actually going to go back, because I want to see what happened. Old Spectre here. Weaver and okay, so that was what that was about. Weaver and Treant kind of took a break from the main part of the fight to go just get rid of her on the side. So that's very good at this point. Abaddon ult on for no reason, slightly unfortunate, but. That's very good at this point, really. You know, you're the early game team. It would be nice to actually win an early game fight, and finally it comes out. Abaddon now has the Manta. Shuriken Protector has a Blink as well. That's going to be quite considerable power spike for this Radiant lineup. You know, the Storm Spirit here once again is in actually quite a bit of danger here. Not that he realizes it at the moment, but if he gets stunned close enough for Abaddon to get the Manta out, he's just gonna die. No two ways about it. Oh, Snapfire also has a Manta. And yeah, the little Shredder multi-shot is still a thing. Okay, just making sure.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And with the Weaver bugs, it's gonna make the little Shredder multi-shot actually quite nasty. I mean, it's at least one armor reduction. This grows over time on everybody you're looking at. So you already got the armor reduction, and then Little Shredder is going to blow even more of your armor off. It's going to be quite nasty. On just everyone, too. On every member of that team. It's going to come off.
Invisibility.
You're looking at Spectre over here. Just glad to be here. There's actually a smoke on this lineup. This could be really devastating, but unfortunately for them, not only is there not a smoke, they've also been found out. But they realized they had been found out because Spiritbreaker was not actually in this there for some reason. Big Venn diagram of Dawnbreaker ults. Rubik comes out second. Lich ult is now on the field, is mostly just bouncing around to illusions though. Did get the Treant. 1 for 2. And unfortunately for the Dire, one of that 2 was Spectre, who does walk away with 97 gold net profit, so there's that. That's very brave for Spiritbreaker to be doing this. Oh, they have the Lich Fear, but they don't have any detection. So it's actually totally fine for him to be doing that. Better be dust. That is not what dust looks like, unfortunately. Can really afford to get rid of these at this point, I think. Radiant now walking to Roche, and I mean as they should be. They're probably looking to do that earlier when they were all gathered up here. And Spectre looked tasty, but going to do Roche. Roche shouldn't be too hard with this lineup. Weaver looking to take the Aegis.
Roshan has fallen into the ring.
Really arguably should be Snapfire if anybody. But oh, the Dire scanned out Roche just in time. What the hell is this? What is going on here, Kyrix? What kind of bizarre protest are you planning, buddy?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Whoops, I accidentally put my sentries in a nice Waluigi pattern arrangement. Abaddon Illusions currently hanging out in the jungle. Spirit Breaker charged one. I'm getting so confused by these illusions. Everyone that comes out just starts getting pinged.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Illusion.
Weaver is just kind of casually popping this thing.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Nobody on Dire seems to really care about
Dire's
this.
under attack.
Lincoln Sphere out on Weaver. I believe that blocks this, which is huge. If true. If it doesn't, oh well. It also gets rid of the Vortex, also stops the Spirit Breaker charge. So some good things about the Lincoln Sphere this game, and not really... Like, the only thing you can really do to pop it that you would not hate to lose is Spectral Dagger, which is not always going to be available to you in the... Woo! Man, big ult here from the Treant Protector. They are so hungry for Spectre. They're gonna get her too. Huge artillery strike coming out from the Dawnbreaker. Not from the Dawnbreaker, coming out on top of the Dawnbreaker ult. On top of the Spectre that's already there. Lich set up his shard to ult, actually died before he got it out. Overwhelming victory there for the Radiant, who only lose Treant Protector to take 4 and beta buyback.
Dire's bottom
They did not even lose Aegis for this. Again, invisibility is invincibility. Never mind. Invisibility is no guarantee of life. In fact, BigAl dieback there is very unfortunate.
Dire's bottom tower.
Waiting out a minute and a half at this point in the game is probably not something he is very interested in doing. But it's what now must be done. Actually, probably have an uphill opportunity here. Bad ult just a few seconds away. They have a Rod of Atos on the, actually Gleipnir now. On the Storm Spirit opportunity, it does not look like they're going to press much more than that. Definitely would really want to use this time right now as a Radiant. You want to be, ideally anyway, doing something a bit more interesting than farming up. Spirit Breaker down for 70 seconds at this point is a big power play. Does not look like they're going to take it. Time will tell whether or not this bites them in the ass. Sorry. Bites them in the hindquarters.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
A golden blade.
Ban looking at an Orchid next, which is kind of funny if you think about it. Storm Spirit and Lich going on the supports here, which may not exactly be the target you want. Supports do indeed die, cost of their own supports. Okay, actually, if none of these cores... Okay, never mind, Spirit Break is going to die. So 2 for 2. Spirit Breaker going down once again. And again, no Aegis used on Weaver. Again, not even a bad ult used this time. Bam Blink is up. Lots of damage coming out on this tower. Storm Spirit tries to ball over the wave and actually misses the entire thing. Another Gleipnir out on the Weaver for the double Gleep action. I guess this is how you make up for the lack of AoE stuns outside of the Tran ult, is you just buy many more. Well, once again, this team is going to start backing off. Weaver's Aegis expires. They really should have just let him finish that, really. If Spearbreaker actually finished that charge, he's going to die. A bit surprising they stopped it in its tracks there. Well, the earliest part of the early game was very awkward and didn't do well for them. The lead, the Radiant holds, is starting to get pretty oppressive, especially as Spearbreaker, or Dawnbreaker, I guess, is a real boss 3. Both kind of start to fall off the face of the universe. Tallballz sticks around mid when his whole team leaves and finds out, well, you don't do that against the Spearbreaker lineup. But, Cane Rune. Krubik keeps stealing spells from Spearbreaker, and he gets bulldozed every time. You cannot be happy. Lots of guys looking at Weaver, but she cannot really afford to dive the T2 at this point to get him. Meanwhile, Abaddon top pushing out a lane that is unfortunately, well, I was about to say pushing out a lane that unfortunately already has a T2 down. All these T2s are already down, as it turns out. So, Dawnbreaker now has the Aghanim Scepter for the super big and super long ult. Actually, I think it's a very high impact pickup at this point in the game. The ability to just kind of casually save people is pretty big. Blue Jay is saying, okay guys, let's all go back to our T3 top. Is actually saying let's go get Tormentor, which makes a bit more sense. Really, Abaddon is quite good at getting this thing. And look, reaps the benefits for himself. The Shard, one of the more underestimated parts of playing Abaddon. You often see people forget they have it outright. But this Shard is powerful juju. Especially when you get that level 25 AoE Mist Coil. Let's bring the misery to everyone. Everybody fights over the double damage rune. It's a damn good thing Abaddon didn't take that. They can see these guys here in the triangle, which tries to slink off, but gets caught for it anyway. Abaddon realizes, hey, nobody's defending this tower, and promptly kills it. Speedbreaker coming in from the back to try and get rid of him. Bulldozes through the Weaver's Gleipnir here. Princess rats out bot T2, but loses the mid-racks for it. Okay, that was the lowest effort racks in a competitive, at least competitive looking game that I've ever seen. They just straight up let that go. Spearbreaker walks into a world of hurt here. Charges right through everyone, finds nothing but his own death. Spectre is perhaps fighting slightly too early. Maybe he is counting on the Dawnbreaker buyback in ult there, but it's just a little too late to get it done. Not bad, and don't forget you can use the Mist Coil to... whatever. Not like it's really going to matter if they just casually megas at 35 minutes. I mean, they did that last game. And I mean, they won for it, but it took 55,000 hours. Bro, again with us? I mean, I blame them less this time. Last time, I felt like they were holding off against genuinely impossible odds. Like, I don't think, like, you know, maybe if you put, like, a very massive player skill disparity on display, but I think, put these 10 guys into that position after the Megas come out in a million universes, I don't think the BigAl team ever wins that. Maybe if the Tallballz team's brains fall entirely out of their head, but just outside of like a major throw, I don't think they ever win that. I think how they did is about as good as they possibly could have done. This time, it makes quite a bit more sense to hold off, actually. At least they're the late team. At least they're not relying on a character made of cardboard. He just comes out on the Weaver once again. Ben has finished up his Orchid, his looking at Bloodstone, or not Bloodstone, Bloodthorn rather. Not that far from it.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Rip to Rubik's Courier. You hate to see it. Weaver has got Naya Scotty. He's gonna be having to pull it right past Princess though. Just bad, that's a full Scotty! Princess didn't see it. Or he didn't care. Oh my god. Oh no, he did not. Oh my god, he didn't care about that courier. He had no idea how big the prize on that thing was. Oh no, bro. Oh god, you hate to see it. I mean, not like the outcome of this team fight would have been that different, but my god, he's gonna feel bad if he watches this. Not like he's gonna keep watching after game 1 where he just flamed the ever-loving crap out of his team for 15 minutes. 15 minutes for about 35 minutes, but you know. Sadly, no Gleipnir quite yet for Architizis. Mega's out once again. Storm Spirit baits Rubik into non-existence. Unfortunately, he baits Spirit Breaker into much the same. Rubik flies back and finds out, tragically, that his team does not have Outpost. Hi Storm Spirit. You feeling alright, buddy? Gets killed, and luckily this time we're not waiting 2.5 hours to go home. 2-0 for the Tallballz team. A much more convincing victory this time. No trolling the casters. I mean, yeah, no trolling the casters in this game. You're only trolling the casters if you're hopeless holding out. I think the coordination for the BigAl team is very clearly, I mean, they're missing their puzzle, and that's always going to be a hit. But it feels like the BigAl team's coordination has some issues, but it feels like their draft is a big problem right now. They just got to start picking for themselves a little bit better than this, or else they're going to be seeing a lot of similar results to this down the line. I think most people would have called this an upset, really. I think most people would have put their money on the BigAl 2-0 if you looked on this on paper, but just didn't really come out like that. You know, again, maybe it's having a stand-in, not to flame 12-7. I'm sure he's fine, but you get a stand-in on your puzzle and your entire team dynamic changes instantly. So maybe that has a lot to do with it. But I don't know, it's awkward. Just neither game felt particularly good. Some pressing issues in how they're picking and how they're executing. Hopefully they can put on a better show next time, which I believe they'll have Lad of Lads, so I can't imagine a decrease in the performance. If you or somebody you know wants to learn Dota 2 at a casual or more competitive level, go to ld2l.gg today to sign up. It's too late to get into this season, sadly, but it's not too late to stand in. It's not too late to go for Qs popping. All kinds of fun things happening. And we'll see you for the live game tomorrow.